It's only me and you. Everybody else is asleep. They're probably sick like me. Well, there's two people on here, two Negroes on here. Oh man, this is why I don't need to get sick. Hmm. Where are the people? Where are the people? Where are the people? Where are the Negroes at? Where are the Negroes at? Where are the Negroes? My church people from the night. My church family. Look at my church family. This lady right here on the far left, she was the first black school teacher in my hometown. And the lady in the middle is a prophet. And she loves me. She loves me a lot. She loves me. She's always prophesied to me. But I love her. She's sweet. I don't believe in prophecies, y'all. I would never tell her that, but I don't believe that stuff. I don't. You know how the preacher get up and say, "The Lord told me to tell." The Lord ain't told you nothing. I just don't believe it. I just don't. Maybe I'm delusional, but I just like when a preacher get up and say, "God told me somebody in here got child out of 200 people in the church, somebody gonna have something going on that you talk about." Now, if a preacher get up and say, "God told me that He's gonna," let's see, we won't use money. We just say, let's just say, if a person say, "God told me that He's gonna do," and they say whatever they say, and it happens, then yeah. But I don't know. I just I'm real funny. I don't know, y'all. You always say that when you come in here. You always say that when you come here. Did you buy that ticket you said you was gonna buy, or did you say you weren't? You said you was coming? Because I'm trying to remember. You always say you from Detroit. We know you from Detroit. Don't be trying to throw it in our face. Tired ass Detroit. No, I'm just playing. I'm not feeling good, y'all. I'm not feeling good. Feel like I'm coming down with a little fever, and I gotta take this medicine. I have a little small little stomach issue going on, but I took some Pectate. Hopefully that kind of helps. Well, it won't be soon. Yeah, oh, you was talking about the preacher stuff. I mean, I don't know, y'all. God, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But I know it's in the Bible. But if you had 100 people in the church and the preacher get up and say, "The Lord told me that somebody in here got back problems. The Lord told me somebody gonna get a new car," or the Lord, child, everybody, even if it's 50 people in a church, and you say something, "The Lord, somebody in here got something going on with their left foot." You're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass man. Are you a man? What's your name? Shalama Kubalus. What is your name? Chae. Are you a man or a woman? Mhm. We don't have tummy aches, baby. That's for little kids. Say your stomach's hurting. Tummy. The fuck? Get your ass off of here talking about your tummy hurt. Mm. But anyway, you see what I'm saying, Detroit? Like, your tummy hurt. My tummy hurt. But it's all good. I hope you feel better. I hope your stomach gets better. I can't. I ain't been on here 6 minutes. I'm on here trolling somebody. Mm. He about to cuss me out, and I'm gonna cuss him back out. I want to be roasted, but nobody want to roast me. I did it one time. I did it a long time ago about a year ago, I wanted to get roasted. I said, y'all go for it. Let's have a roast. I want to be roasted. Nobody would, no, PT, you too nice. I don't want to do that. I don't want to roast you. I said, God damn, it's a fucking joke. Just do it. Nobody wouldn't do it. I was like, what? Y'all are fucking crazy. It's just a joke. One person did say something. I think one person said, you always begging for cash apps. I said, oop. And I say, and you ain't never gave one. I think that was one of the things that somebody said. But no, they would not roast me. And I said, I'm giving y'all the door is open. Say whatever you want to say about me. Roast me, but nobody wouldn't do it. That's no PT, you too nice. I don't want to say nothing bad about you. Yeah, because if you say something, you probably been meaning to say that for a long time. Like I said, when people get mad at me and we fall out, and I block them, and they say everything about me they've been wanting to say. You're always begging for cash up. You're always on here talking about you gonna get a car. You're always on here talking about this. You're always talking about this. I said, "Oh, so you've been thinking about me all the time, thinking like that about me. I'm glad I blocked your ass." Your true colors came out. Yeah. Hmm. All right, y'all. Do, 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 do. Oh, oh boy. Yeah, I feel a little feverish. I don't know. I got some ibuprofen. I need to take some of that, and then my stomach is it's a little upset. I knew this when I got home at the church. I said something ain't right. I don't feel good. Like something it's not adding up here. And your body tells you when something is wrong. And so I hope I do too. And then when I laid down, you go back and look at the last video I did. As soon as I hung up the live, I fell asleep. Yeah. Now I went and looked at the dates on the cottage cheese. It was up to date. I had some peaches. I need to look at the date. I need to look at them peaches. Something told me to get them damn Del Monte peaches. One thing about it, it's good to get stuff that's cheaper, but sometimes you just got to get the shit that everybody knows. One thing I try not to do is I don't do what's that shit they be selling in Walmart, that off the wall shit, off brand stuff. I try my best to stay away from that stuff. But sometimes you gotta spend a little bit more, for stuff that's gonna taste better than, than taking a chance at getting sick. You know what they call it, value. Yeah, great value. No, ma'am, I'm good on that one. But some people shop and get great value. Some people do. Yeah, but them peaches I got, they not sweet, nothing. Like, girl, what are these? Are these great value peaches? Mm, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. You just sometimes you gotta spend a little bit, $2 or $3 more for you, because I like cottage cheese and peaches, but the peaches I bought, mm-mm, they not sweet. They're not sweet at all. So I'm gonna throw them bitches away. I always said if I won millions of dollars, I would give me a nice farmland. Appreciate it. I would give me a nice farmland, and you know grow my own grocery. I mean, my own vegetables, and have me a couple of cows and chop them girls up. Sorry. uh, I used to work for this guy. He was a man, a white man, back when I was in high school. After they did a recall on great value aspect. Oh hell, I would never do no great value aspects. Are you crazy? Oh hell no! Oh, you said somebody be setting themselves up to get some aspirin. I try my let's like my best friend, one of my good friends from church that I'm always with. He'll go to Dollar Tree and get all kind of medicine. Girl, no ma'am. But I'm gonna spend an extra dollar and I'm gonna get the real shit. Even though, breaking news: the Supreme Court tossed out something. I don't know what that was, but it didn't come up. But yeah, you just. I mean, you can get sick on anything. You remember years ago, like a long time ago, people was getting sick off Tylenol and dying and stuff. Yeah, so it could be anything. It could, it could be the best stuff. I tell you what, if I ever eat something and get deadly sick off of it and survive, bitch, you gonna see me in a nice car, okay? hmm And I mean, so deadly sick to where in a coma for 2 or 3 months, and they come to find out it was the food. Oh yeah, and it's a big company too. Oh yeah, where's PT at in Hawaii? When I get my settlement, where's PT at Hawaii? Why PT ain't doing no shows anymore? Child, PT don't need to do no shows. I'm traveling, baby, and enjoying life. Anyway, I was talking about this white guy, this white man I used to work for. Y'all, please don't judge me. Okay, so I was young, and I was before I got out of high school, and I was um, doing yard work. I was cutting the grass, and they were filthy rich. They actually own a meat company here in my hometown. They were very nice, and so don't tell me what to do. You're not running nothing over here. Don't tell me to continue anything. You just listen. My best friend does it. He's a fucking grown ass man. He'd be like, I said, boy, you're a grown ass man doing that shit. So anyway, so there were the Gooches, the Gooch family, filthy rich. They lived in this really nice neighborhood. Them bitches had an elevator in their house. This was way back in the '80s, like early '80s. They had an elevator in their house. They had a basement, and they had like a 5, 6 bedroom house. And Mr. and Mrs. Goose, they were older. They were older. And I ended up, okay, so I was doing yard work, like doing a little painting and stuff. And my neighbor, well, she was the lady that lived down the street from us. She got me that little gig. I think they paid me like $100 to do little stuff. The house was, and then, baby, that was back before flat screens was around. They had this big old ass TV, but it was a shit. They had it going on. They had like, okay, so how I ended up inside the house. Um, and we got to remember in this little town, we don't have very many. Back then, we didn't have very many jobs unless it was the military base or we had a Wilson's back then. Y'all remember Wilson's? Uh, we don't do cigars over here. We're gonna put you on timeout, and don't come in here talking trash and without saying hello. So I'm gonna put you on a 24-hour timeout, and you come back and try it again, girl. Anyway, so we had the state school was very popular here, but I'm not working with. I can't. I used to work for. I've done that type of work, helping disa- uh, uh, disabled people or like people who are mentally, and I can't do it. I don't have the stomach for it, and it just, because I cry a lot and I get really emotional. Like my last job I had doing that, I had to quit because I would come inside. We'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, so the lady who got me the job, she fell out with Miss Gooch, Mr. Miss Gooch, and behind something. I don't know what. I don't know if she stole something. I don't know. So Mrs. Gooch was like, she's like, she said, I know you probably won't do this. She said, but it's so hard for me to find somebody to do good work. Yeah, this is a true story. I'm not lying. And I was still in high school. I think, yeah. And so I said, Miss Gooch, I know how to clean up real good. I can clean, baby. My mama and my daddy taught me how to clean. That lady paid me $150. I think I worked 3 days. I think I Monday, or Wednesday, and I think a Friday before the weekend. And they were very nice to me. They actually gave me keys to their house. They were filthy rich. They were millionaires, and they were. I don't know if they were testing me. I don't know, but they would. I mean, money would be laying around, y'all. It's the first time I ever seen a $1,000 bill, and I was like, Miss Gould, somebody, you got some money laying around, and I give it to them, And I remember when they would go out of town to, they used to go to South Dakota a lot. They would leave me the keys, go check on the house. They were very nice people, and I thought to myself, well, maybe they're gonna leave me their house. and but they were very nice people. And he was telling me, Mr. Gooch was telling me about cows. He was telling me, that's why I was talking about cows earlier. He was telling me how he knew how he could look at a cow and he could tell you how much they weighed. He could tell you how you cut the cow up because they started their own business. They were country people because I live in the country. He could look at a cow and tell you what the name of the cow, what type of, they got all type of different cows, heifers and all kinds of shit like that. But they were filthy rich. But once I came in and started doing little stuff, only thing I cleaned was their main bedroom, and I go in the den, go upstairs, flush the commode, and baby, when I did that, me and Miss Gooch sat the whole time. That was around the time I was kind of playing in drag, but not really playing in drag. Like doing wearing women clothes and stuff. Doing shows, and she had Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada shit, all that expensive shit in her closet. We start talking about entertaining and stuff like that. And me and Miss Gooch, I didn't do no work. We became best of friends. We became best of friends. And I never really didn't do any work. And they still paid me. They gave me the keys to the house. I went to school with one of her nieces. I went to school with her nieces. And they were very nice people. They were so nice. And I didn't even do no work. I go in their room, and the only thing that made me mad about Mr. Gooch was he dipped snuff. And that motherfucker would come home, and in the bathroom, you see snuff on the wall, the shit on the damn in the bathroom, But other than that, they were clean people. They were nice out there, very sweet. I always used to say, oh, I wonder if they ever left money to me. I don't know. I don't know if I would never know. I guess because I left. I moved on with my life. I moved on with my life, and I knew that. I know they dead. I know they've been dead. And I used to go back in the neighborhood to try to find a house, but I can't find it. I don't remember. I used to walk to the house. And I remember she told me that if I knew how to drive, she would let me drive a car and everything. But at the time, I didn't drive. So, but they were very nice people. They were so nice. Yep. And we started talking about clothes and fashions. And me and Miss Gooch, we just sit there and gossip the whole time. And her checks never bounced. Okay. Checks never bounced. Filthy rich. Filthy rich. I said, I'm in a house with a fucking elevator. And y'all, this was back in the 80s. Yeah. Their house was big. It was huge. And it was just them too. He would come home, oh, I got my blood pressure's up. Really? And he go over there to get him some vodka. Mr. Goose, that vodka ain't gonna help your blood pressure. Yeah, they were nice people. But I know they tried me though. I know they tried to set me up. I said, when I saw that $1,000 bill, I said, ooh, I thought it was fake. I said, Miss Gooch, there's some money over here. They laid around them big silver coins, and they had a big, beautiful bear rug, and it was a beautiful home. But back then, if you look at that house now, it's probably look old fashioned, But now, but for me back then, being young, looking at that house, it was beautiful. But me and Miss Goose became so close that really, I didn't really do. I think on the days that I wasn't there, she probably had somebody else coming in cleaning because all me and Miss Goose do would just sit there and talk. We just sit there and talk. I go clean the room, go flush the toilet upstairs, clean their main bedroom, and do a little something, something, and that was it. She'd cook. She would cook when she make sandwiches. We sit there and talk. Yeah, she was a really nice lady. She was so nice. Man, I wish. I don't think they left me anything. Because if they did, I would have known. I would know. I definitely would have known long time ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I found out there's a black guy that lives here in my hometown, and found out that yes, she did. She did. Yeah, she did. She probably knew I was How you doing? She probably knew that too. Yeah, she probably knew that too. Yeah, so she, her name, her name was Pete Gooch, like a guy's name. Yeah, that was her name, Pete Gooch. I forgot his name, but her name stood out because she had a male's name, Pete Gooch. hmm Y'all know that? Y'all remember the Jackson Five house in Encino, California? That's how their house looked. It was a big old house just like that. Yeah. The good old days, the good old days. And I think I moved on. Before I graduated from high school, and my family moved away. That's why. Yeah, that's why. And you got to realize she probably wasn't. She was the second Miss Goots, so she probably wasn't cool with the other family. You know what I mean? She was like the second wife, so she probably wasn't really cool with the Mr. Gooch's other family. So I was probably one of her best. I was probably one of her best friends. But when they left me the keys to that house, my mom was like, "Don't you go over there fucking up nothing." I'm like, "I ain't." My mom, you didn't raise me like that. You didn't raise me like that. You did not raise me like that. I do have a bear rug. I also have a Bentley and a Mercedes. Is there anything else I can help you with? Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'm not a. I used to date a multimillionaire. This person was a athlete. That's all I'm gonna say. And we dated after this person had got all the gold medals. I was very young. I lived in Houston, and this person had plenty of money and gave me anything and everything I wanted. We went on dates, went on trips, everything. That stuff don't impress me. I've been there. It does not impress me at all. Um, when I was younger, thank God for a beautiful mother and a handsome father. I got anything and everything I needed from a man. So when a motherfucker came to me about, after I dated that guy, when people come to me about, they got this, they got that, child, that don't impress me. Just give me a car that can move. Okay. I've been in cars with no air. I've been in cars with air. I've been in mansions. I've been in regular ass apartments. I've learned in this life at 25 that worldly things don't impress me. I'm not. You're right. Worldly things do not impress me. Don't get me wrong. I love when I lived in Houston. Oh, I miss Houston so much. I almost start crying. When I lived in Houston, I would go to the Galleria and I would go to the Louis Vuitton store just to walk around, and I go spray on some cologne like I'm about to buy some. Then people didn't know if I had money or not, you know. And I remember one time I was in the Louis Vuitton store, and I'm just walking around. I had on my fake Gucci shoes. They over there, they look real too. My mama told me, somebody gonna kill you behind them shoes because they look like the real deal. I remember one time I was in Houston and I had them on, and I went to not Chili's but some restaurant. Everybody was looking down at my feet. They weren't even looking at me. Materialistic shit, and they fake as hell. I got them at the Goodwill, and they look like the real deal, you know. And hey, Cassie, welcome in. So, um, um, damn, what was I saying? But I forgot what I. Oh, so I would go to Louis Vuitton store. So when I was in there, you know, I saw these. And there's nothing wrong with dressing up if you have the money and you want to dress up fine. I seen these guys in the Louis Vuitton store, and they walked out. They looked like normal people. They had on regular khaki shorts, some old raggedy tennis shoes, regular shirts. Nothing fancy, just regular clothes. They walked out of there with bags and bags and bags and bags on top of bags. Where's my neck? It's right here. but you won't be able to see it because they're going to remove you from my life. Take care. So I say, where's your mama's neck? But anyway, but people, you know, just like I see people who have on red bottoms and they show pictures showing their red bottoms. People who have money don't do shit like that. Don't get me wrong. I like going to the Louis store. I like going to the Gucci store and looking around like, you know, but that's materialistic shit. That shit don't. What's important to me is that I wake up the next morning, or that I got my health and my strength. That's more important than anything. 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 Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie. My favorite cars, my favorite cars are Lincolns. If I ever come across a lot of money, that's the first thing I'm gonna get is me a Lincoln, a SUV Lincoln. I love Lincolns. I love them. I love Lincolns. I don't know what it is about me and Lincolns. Yeah, yeah, and I talk about this all the time for those who follow me all the time. I've never spent the night inside of a hospital except 2 years ago in 2020. Well, 2024. Yes, that was the first time in my 60s that I ever spent the night overnight. Matter of fact, guess what? Let me show you something. First time in my life, 2 years ago, behind some damn food poisoning. Goddamn me, food poisoning, man. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can put it. It might not be on this phone. No, it's not on this phone. It's okay. I was gonna show y'all the pictures, but yeah, first time ever in my life. Now I done been to hospitals, and I done seen doctors, and I've gotten the flu before. I did get COVID, but it wasn't bad. But I think I've had colonoscopies and don't have cancer, and you know I could have died from AIDS back in the '80s, but I didn't get it. So many people died back in the '80s. I'm trying to think, fuck, why the fuck I didn't get it? Because I came out in the '80s. I came out before AIDS came out, and we was every week in the '80s we sit around twirling our fingers. Who gonna be next? That's how bad it was. It was bad. So I think I've done pretty good. I think I'm blessed to still be around, and so I get tired sometimes. I'm at the age now when you get up, you're ready to get back down again. But a lot of it has to do with me not working out. I don't work out, and I should work out, but I don't. But I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that soon because you just don't feel like it. Yeah, they were very scary times. Yeah, mm. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Yeah, it was very scary. Yeah, because I think the AIDS virus came around like '85. And I was out there dipping, as Wendy say, babies, I was out there dipping it and doing it. Okay, I was doing everything under the sun, prostituting and everything else. But I only prostituted with the ones that were cute. If you were cute, you can. and I and I always tell my story. I'm never ashamed to tell people what I did. Never. I'm never. Because let me tell you something. If I became famous overnight, I'm talking viral video. People gonna start digging to my future. Some of them old ass queens that I knew back in the '80s. Well, I remember when me and PT used to prostitute on Main and Elgin in Houston. Yes, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they got, and you know what's so funny? My family, weird. I don't, y'all straight people not y'all straight people. Stop thinking that everybody that's gay has HIV. Because I know for years, I'm sure they never told me this, but I'm sure my family members thought I had HIV and they probably thought I had AIDS. Yeah, but no, girl, no. But I had an uncle who died from it, but he was supposedly straight, and I had a cousin who died. He was gay and he was younger than me, but he was on drugs. So But yeah, so I think I've done pretty good, still be here, still moving around, still got my health and my strength. And I was just talking to a lady at church today. She was talking about this young man here in my hometown got cancer, and the doctors gave him up this week. He's only 40 years old. And people, and I don't understand why people don't, I do. I get it. Like I'm on a live with millions of people watching, and I just bust out crying. But people don't understand where I came from and what I've been through. And then never been to jail in my life. Well, I've been to jail, but it was because of somebody speeding, and I didn't have a driver license at the time, so I had to ride with them to the to the police station. Bitch, I said, bitch, slow your ass down. And then the other time was this guy I was dating, and and I was dating this guy, and at the time I lived in West Texas, and I went to Austin to visit him, and we went to Houston for the weekend, and I remember riding this way back in the 80s, late 80s, and I remember when we got in the car, it was a Chevy Regal. I love Chevy Regals, blue, and I got in the car and I looked over to the side, and there was a driver license, and it was a driver license and ID, and I said, "Oh, and whose stuff is this?" He said, "Oh, there ain't nobody, just throw it out the window." I didn't know. I Okay, I threw it out. And we made it to Houston, but baby, coming back, we got stopped in this little town called Giddings, Texas. Shout out to Giddings. And let me tell you something. I really believe the only thing that probably saved me, probably from going to prison or even probably being unalived in a little bitty town like that back in the 80s, was the military boys I was with. The military men I was with, they were all gay. They went in the military, but back then you couldn't come out back then. You get kicked out the military. So what, two of the guys were boyfriends and the other one just friends. They sat in the back, three of them in the back. I was in the front with Oren. Oren was driving. So we got stopped in Giddings. It's like leaving Austin, leaving Houston, going through Giddings, and had to get into Austin. We got stopped, and I noticed it was taking a while for when the police stop you and they're back there clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking, some they have a show taking a long time. Can we just get the ticket and go? No, you can't. So we all had to get out. We all got arrested. Oh God, I was like, oh my God, we're in this little bitty country ass fucking town. Oh Lord, I wouldn't, at the time I didn't even think about we could have got unalive. You know, I wouldn't even think about that. So we all went to jail. That's my first time ever having them close the door. That never happened to me. And I was crying. I was like, oh Lord, I want to get out of here. Do you know that? No, I haven't. People always tell me I need to do it. Here's my life story right here on YouTube. Okay. So when when the police, when we got arrested, I did feel a little bit better because I was with the military guys. So they were doing some investigating, and they pulled up shit on me, and they let me go. But let me tell you what the guy said when he came to my fucking cell. He said, "Mr. Johnson, yes. Well, we got you in here for murder." What? He said, "No, I'm just joking, buddy. We're gonna let you out. We proved that you was working at El Chico when the car got stole." I swear to God, El Chico saved me. Y'all remember El Chico? Yeah. I was working at El Chico. I was a waiter. And I didn't live in Austin where the car got stole. So that saved me. That saved me. Hmm. But the military guys, they let us all go. We lost all our clothes, everything. We lost everything. We lost everything, and we had to get on Greyhound to go back home. Yep, yep. We had to get on Greyhound to go back home. That was the only time I've ever dealt with the police, and it was the only time I ever been arrested. But I really believe, again, like I say, if they had to prove that, well, I don't really think they would have. As long as I had lived in West Texas at the time, Amarillo, Texas, I don't think they would have, because I guess they do the digging and stuff, But if they had been dirty, dirty, dirty cops, yeah, they could have just said, yeah, you had something to do with this. But there's no way you can't prosecute me when I'm working and you got proof that I was working that day. No, in two different cities, no, no, buddy, that ain't gonna pass. Yeah, that's back when Greyhound was good. Greyhound is trash now. Let's talk about Greyhound. Bitch, I was on Greyhound a couple of weeks ago. Now I fly free. I have a friend that works for American and a friend that works for Southwest. So I fly free. Um, and in the little town that I live in, it's so expensive to leave out of here. So I have been catching Greyhound to leave out of here, but usually I'll leave the day before if it's something important because Greyhound is not reliable at all. It's very trashy. So I I catch this real classy bus once I leave here. And once I get to Fort Worth, I catch a bus called Von Lane. It's the best. It's one of the best buses you can ever catch. They feed you. They have an attendant on the bus. It's so cold on the bus. They have to give you blankets. I mean, it's top of the line. You need to Google it or go look at it on YouTube. Von Von Lane VONLANE. All the people who watch me, they've seen it before. So I was coming back from 2 weeks ago. I was coming back from Dallas, and I had to come back home and my flight benefits for American are gone, but I have Southwest benefits, but they don't come here. So I'm forced to get on Greyhound to come back. As soon as you get on the bus, it smells like weed and booty and nasty. I always have on a mask. I bring me a towel. I put the towel behind me where the headpiece is. I already know that I already know that my phone got to be completely charged because I know the chargers don't work on that bitch. So we get on the bus. It was so funky. Even with a mask on, you could smell it. The dude behind me said, "Ma'am, oh," and my ride from Fort Worth to where I live is only 3 hours. "Ma'am, it's hot on this bus." She didn't hear him. So he got up. He went toward the front. He said, "Ma'am, I don't mean no harm, but it's hot on this bus." This bitch said, "What do you want me to do? I'm not a mechanic." So we stopped in some little town right before I got home. I haven't made it. Yeah, baby, you don't want to either. So we stopped at some little town before we got home. And this motherfucker got out and bought him a fan. Okay. But I'm thinking, what are you fanning? Hot air and funk and weed? You know. So yeah. Yeah, it's trashy. It's trashy. But I always say if people who ride Greyhound, but these people are not smart enough, and I shouldn't say it like that because I ride Greyhound. My last resort, if these people were really smart, they could shut Greyhound down. All somebody had to do is organize and say, okay, we're not getting back on Greyhound until they fix up these buses, fix their attitudes. They won't do it though. A lot of these people are really, really poor. A lot of them just don't have a lot of money. They don't have this probably the common sense to say that we could change this if we stick together and like don't ride the bus. If nobody, I'm telling you, if people say we ain't riding Greyhound until they fix their shit, them bitches will go bankrupt. But people ain't gonna do it. The people ride Greyhound, they're not gonna do it. I don't understand. And there was no air on the bus, y'all, and that bus was going to fucking Los Angeles. Los Angeles. I felt sorry for them people. When I got off of my hometown, I felt sorry for those people. I caught it one time leaving my hometown, and they didn't have no air in, and they had to let the thing up in the front. It was so just ghetto. But they do it because they don't have no competition. Yeah, like a Greyhound boycott, they won't do it. The people won't do it. I got to get to where I need to go. I can't be boycotting nothing. You don't realize you could change things if you boycott. Let me show y'all the bus that I catch. Hold on. I got something going on. Ooh, Lord. Okay. Okay, so here's the bus that I catch. Once I get to Fort Worth, I'm gonna show it to you. It is expensive, but when you see it, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get it. And I'm showing this to people who never seen it before. A lot of y'all have seen it before that follow me, but this is for people that ain't never seen it before. Hold on, give me a second. And I met the CEO a month ago. He was in Dallas, and I saw him sitting down, and I knew it was him. And I walked up to him, and I said, "Sir, are you the CEO of Vaunt Lane?" And he was like, "How you know who I was, baby? I ride your bus all the time." Here, I'm gonna put it up for y'all. Hold on, Von Lane bus. Okay, here it is right here. All right,
Vaughn Lane Bus.
this is the bus that I catch once I leave.
This is the number one reason why I love traveling with Bond Lane. I've been riding with them for 2 years, and the thing that keeps me coming back is the convenience. I don't love driving, so I take Bond Lane most of the time. I can relax, kick my feet up, watch a movie, get work done, the list goes on. There's just something about being able to fully unwind while getting where I need to go. And the service is always top notch. Whether I'm heading out for work or taking a little getaway, Bond Lane makes the journey just as enjoyable as the destination.
Yeah, this is the bus I catch. They only do Texas. Hold on. They only do Texas. They don't leave outside of Texas, and they only do Memphis, Nashville, and they do Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, and Atlanta, and that's it. Yeah. Um, it's very fancy. Yeah, that's the only bus I catch.
Traveling does. You guys, I've been riding with Bond Lane for 8 years now.
Damn, she been with them 8 years. I didn't realize they've been around that long. I was trying to show you food. This what they you get to eat too on here. They feed you.
You know, Von Lane's hotel partners are the ones responsible for the complimentary meals offered on your ride. The Doubletree in Dallas preps everything in their kitchen, including a strawberry spinach salad, chicken Caesar salad, turkey club, and more wraps and sandwiches. The meals are prepped the day of the ride and delivered to the bus before boarding begins. All trips except those leaving around 2:15 or after 7 include a full meal.
That's it.
Do you know Von
That's what I catch. Yep, that's what I catch. I catch that. They don't come to my hometown, but I said when I saw the CEO, I said, "Oh my God, aren't you the CEO of Von Lane?" Yes, he was real nice, and it was Alex. He was real nice. I said, "Man, you got to come west. You got because we don't have anything here. We don't have trains here. We don't have nothing. Midland, Odessa, Abilene. There's nothing here." Yep. Well, PT, why are you there? My mother. That's it. That is it, my mother. That is it. Yeah. And I want her to live a long time. So it looks like I'm going to be stuck here for a while. Because I moved to Houston, y'all. I love Houston. I love that city. Crime and all. I love it. And believe it or not, I had a 2 bedroom in Houston. You would think a rent would be a lot cheaper here in this. I did. I seen a 1 bedroom for $400 on Craigslist the other day here in my hometown. But it probably a rat hole. But believe it or not, Houston is so big. You can find some pretty cheap rent in Houston if you look hard enough. Oh, baby, Von Lane would never leave Mexicans. Are you crazy? No, baby. I can't even believe you put Greyhound and Von Lane in the same sentence. I just told you Von Lane doesn't come here. I like Houston because I like big cities. I love big cities. I'm gonna tell you why. You know what? I'm glad you asked that question. Well, let me finish this Von Lane question. Let me tell this person about the Von Lane. Von Lane would never leave you. They come inside. First of all, they pick you up at the Hyatt, DoubleTree, and all these very nice hotels. When the bus before Von Lane leaves, they walk inside the hotel and say, "Hey guys, are you?" Because you have to sit in a certain area. "Hey, I'm here with Von Lane. We're about to leave. You guys are ready?" Then Von Lane is grand, honey. She's a diva. She don't leave people, honey. No, Graham will leave your ass, but not Von Lane. No. Matter of fact, Von Lane, if you call them, hours before you, like as if something comes up and you can't make it, you could catch the next ride. Shit, Greyhound, no ma'am, bitch. You done lost your money and everything else. They do not care. But I like Houston so much because I came out in the '80s. When my mother and father separated, I was like 19, and we moved to Houston, and you know, that's when I was first exposed to the gay lifestyle. I mean, I was gay in my home when I was younger, but really learning a lot about the LGBTQ community, everything was new to me, and I met so many wonderful people. My best friend, who died, he died in 2009. Back in Houston when I had to be 21, 22. Um, um, at the time, I was me and my mom are like best of friends now, but back then we didn't get along because I was gay and I was running the streets. I mean, you got to realize I came from a little country town and moving to Houston. Ooh, I seen all them fine men. You know, back then, back then, what you knew you was fine and you had it going on. When you get home and we got numbers on pieces of paper. When I got home, I had all these numbers in my pocket. That's how fine. You knew you was fine when you had so many phone numbers in your pocket that, whatever. So my friend name was Lee. And at the time I wasn't getting along with my mother, and I should have been. That's why I'm here now and supporting her now, because I failed her in my younger years. So as I got older, I realized I should have been there for my mother because she divorced my stepfather. And so at the time, I was in between jobs, running the streets. I wasn't doing drag shows back then. I was actually a male dancer. And I'd go do male shows. I had a job, I worked, but I was excited about being in a big city, meeting all type of guys, had boyfriends that was doing shit for me. That's when I met the Olympic star and whatever. And so I was just running the streets, enjoying my life. And I remember one time um, I wasn't homeless. I just didn't want to go to my mom's house, and because we wasn't getting along, and I didn't have anywhere to go because my best friend who I was telling you about, his roommate, who was an older guy, was jealous of me. He didn't like me, and he tried to unalive me, and I didn't have anywhere to go, and he drove me 45 minutes outside of Houston and took me to his grandmother's house, and I stayed in Conroe, Texas, with his grandmother, and didn't know her. She welcomed me in, and she's like, "Baby, you're gonna have to get you a job." I always had a job at work. I always had a job. She's like, "Baby, you're gonna have to get you a job at work. You can stay here as long as you want, as long as you work. And if you don't want to stay and help with the bills, you get your own place." Mama Rosa. Shout out to Mama Rosa. May she rest in peace. And that was nice of him to do that for me. And I moved there, and I got a job at the church because I'm a musician. So the church hired me. Yeah, he did. He did. And we're best of friends now in Conroe, Texas. And so the church found out that I played the piano or organ or whatever. So that was some little money in my pocket. So I played for the church. Then I ended up getting a job at the hospital. Then I had my own apartment. And then I eventually moved back to Houston. Yeah. So that's why Houston means so much to me. So many memories. So many memories in Houston. And that was around the time that I was hanging out with a friend of mine named Corin. Corin was, if y'all remember the movie Low Down Dirty Shame, y'all remember the little gay guy that played in that movie? Him and I were friends. We hung out together and everything in Houston. He was from Houston. Unfortunately, he died before the movie came out. But it's just a lot of memories in Houston. I think that's one why I like Houston because, even though I know four of my best friends that live there, they're all deceased. Um, but it's just memories. I think memories more than anything. Yeah, yeah, memories. But don't get it twisted. There's a lot of crime in Houston, but I never had any problems in Houston. I never had. I stay to myself and try to, avoid shit. And the apartments that I live in were pretty decent. But just I mean, crime can happen anywhere. And I was just telling somebody today. I was telling somebody at church or somewhere about Buckhead. If you guys know about Buckhead in Atlanta, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be the place to live in. And there was a lady in Buckhead, and she lived in a gated community, and she got unalived by some little young motherfucker that unalived her in her gated community. So it doesn't really matter where you live. Crime is everywhere. But I never had an issue in Houston at all, except on the buses. When I catch, because the bus came right in front of my apartments. Like if I was going to go to the Galleria, I catch the bus. There, I had two options. I had the 82 or the 25. 25 came right in front of my apartments. But if I catch the 25, I could catch it all the way to the Galleria, and I'd have to walk a few blocks down. Well, more than a few blocks, but I would walk up. You know, get off on Richmond and walk up to the Galleria, and then I always catch an Uber back. You know, but yeah, I just only problems. People cut up on the bus and stuff like that. But other than that, I never had no issues in Houston. But Houston got crime. Don't you ever get it twisted. Oh my God, that bitch got crime. Yep, they got crime. But you know, you just have to be careful where you go. And my four friends who died, they all were drug addicts. Unfortunately, they shot up. And I remember, you know, when I was with them, when I hung around them, they would do it right in front of me. They did. Yeah, I know. Well, we still got some here in West Texas, but this is a boring ass place. I'm telling you. Oh, it was. Oh my God. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of me when I was younger. Oh, it was, baby. I tell you, I tell the men what I wanted. I got what I wanted. Okay. Yes, baby. I need this. My mama's beautiful, and my father, it was a very handsome man. So I was blessed to get anything I wanted. I remember dating this one guy. He used to work for this company in Houston called Brown and Root. He bought me a car. Um, he
Woman went viral after sharing it.
he paid my rent. hmm I had one of my boyfriends in Austin when I lived in Austin. Uh, he was in the military. He was in the Air Force, and I'm trying to pull up. Here we go. Right here, I found a picture. He was in the Air Force, and he would get out of his bed when he had to be up early in the morning. He would get out of his bed, bitch, and come and get me at 2 and 3 in the morning, and knowing he had to. Military people got to get up early. And he would come and get me because I didn't have a car, didn't have a driver's license. I have a driver's license for years. And he'd come and get me, get out of his bed and come and get me. Here I go right here. Here I go right here. That was the 80s. So all you young people, you better use it while you can, baby, because it ain't gonna be with you forever. It ain't gonna be with you forever, baby. Baby, I be looking at these young guys on TikTok. Oh, I'm beautiful and my face is, I'm this and I'm that. Oh, keep living, bitch. Keep living. Um, you saw my picture, honey. That shit don't catch up with you, girl. Oh, yeah. Just keep living. Yeah, I got anything and everything I wanted from my man, honey. Anything and everything I wanted. I told you I dated I gotta say the right thing. I told you I dated um, an Olympic star. That's all I'm gonna say. We went on dates and everything. hmm But it's so weird because I think how we stopped talking was that was the time I started doing an old lady act. I started dressing up like an old woman, and I remember him asking me, he said, I don't know how he found out, but he was like, somebody told me you dress up like a girl. I said, no, I do comedy. He said, well, what do you be doing? I say, it's a old lady. Her name is Granny Hightower. He said, what? And he stopped talking to me. Y'all can put his name in the chat. I ain't gonna tell you who it is, but you can guess, but I ain't gonna tell you. He won a whole lot of gold medals. Yep. I remember being at his house when the newspaper would come over. I would be upstairs and I could look downstairs and see them news people. Hmm. Yeah. We dated for a while, went on trips and everything. Yeah. He was a runner, yes. And you can guess his name, and I ain't gonna tell you because he's never done anything for me to out him. I would never out him. Yeah, I would never out him. He was a nice guy. Did I date anybody else famous? Nah. Mm. If I did, I probably didn't know they were famous. But yeah, so those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. Good old days. But yeah, so that's why Houston. That's why I prefer to be in Houston. But I want the Lord to let my mother live as long as she can. Hell, I might leave it for her. I tell people all the time. The lady at my church, uh, we just, she just buried her husband like 5 or 6 months ago, and her daughter just died last month. Hold on. I can't tell y'all what his name is because he's never done nothing to me. So you can guess his name. I'll never tell you. Um, what inspired me to do the old lady? I've always liked to entertain and do shows and stuff like that. Ever since I was a little kid, I used to do MCKEYMOUSE Mickey Mouse. I did everything. I was always on the stage performing and stuff. Ever since I was a little child, I like to entertain, play the piano, play the drums, just in my DNA. And when I met my father years later, I found out he played the piano and he danced and he liked to dress up nice, not in drag, but dress up. My father was straight. He had wives. So, but ooh, it's just like, man, life went by so fast. I'm just glad I didn't get AIDS and die. I'm so glad. Oh my God. I'm so glad. Mm. And I used to see young people that were younger than me. I remember walking downtown Houston, and he would see these people, and like their eyes were sunken in, and their hair was like Indian, like the Indian people, like India people, their hair was like that, and they had lost weight. And you would say, and we didn't know what it was. You got to remember, we didn't really know what it was. We didn't know. And it was like, girl, what's going on with you, child? You look nice. Oh, it's a child, you look good. You lost weight. Then you see their cheekbones and stuff like that. And everybody would say, oh, I'm losing weight. I'm going to be a model. Yeah. And next thing you know, they did. Yeah, it's so true. Oh, man. And what kills me is that I knew that I wasn't better than they were because I was running around like a jackrabbit. Y'all saw how fucking fine I was. Yeah, you saw how fine I was, right? So sex was something that was offered or given to me anytime I wanted it, with anybody, anytime. Ugh. And I remember it was so bad back then. I remember in the club, the people would come from the clinic. They can't do this now because of HIPAA law. They would come inside the club and they would call your name out. So and so, so and so, we looking for you because we need to talk to you. What? Mm, it was bad. At first, it affected the white community at first, and then, the black queens was like, "Girl, it ain't us, girl, it's them, not for long." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And all of my exes, only one of my exes died from the virus, but I had left him years, and I was with my boyfriend uh, in the Air Force, and we both had to get tested because he was in the military, and we both were negative. And I remember getting a phone call from my ex that lived in Houston, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I don't know how he got my number, and listen, he was the finest man in the world. His name was Chauncey. Chauncey was so motherfucking fine, bitch. When I tell you, he came from Marlin, Texas. Country motherfucker. Cornbread fed. That thing was so fine. The hell, I was fine too. Let me tell you how I met Chauncey. Chauncey was at this club and he was getting ready to have a fight with somebody over 20 fucking dollars. Now, Chauncey could fight, but I didn't know that. He was getting ready to fight this queen named Miss Melvin. Over $20. And at the time, y'all don't laugh. I worked at Safeway, bitch. Okay, I worked at Safeway and Pizza Hut, so I had two jobs. I had my own apartment, and I had money, and and I'm the more dominant person in the relationship. So when I saw Chauncey, I was attracted to him, and I was like, "Man, what's going on over here? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal? This bitch think this bitch this." I said, "Man, $20." Went in my back pocket, gave the bitch $20. And I told Chauncey, I said, "Chauncey, I got it. You good, man?" And we started dating. And so we dated. Me and Chauncey broke up because he was a hoe, and Chauncey was bisexual. He liked men and he liked women. And I told Chauncey, I said, "Chauncey, we can't be together because you out there doing your thing." This was before the AIDS virus hit. I said, I can't do this. Like you and I caught him cheating on me and stuff, and you know, so we broke up. But years later, like I had moved to Austin, I was with my boyfriend Reggie, who was in the military. Again, like I said, but with him being in the military, we both had to get tested. By then, AIDS was already out. It was because I left Houston and moved to Austin, and so we had to get tested. He got tested, I got tested. We both were negative because he was in the military. Because they kick you out of the military. And I was laying in bed one day and I got a phone call. He said, "Babe, what you doing?" I said, "Who is this?" He said, "It's Chauncey." I said, "How'd you get my number?" I don't know how he got my number. He might have got it through my gay mom at the time. The lady I called my mother, like my gay mother, he was crying on the phone. He was like, I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm sick." I said, "What's wrong, Chauncey?" He said, "I'm sick. I'm sick." I said, "Chauncey, I'm in a relationship. I haven't seen you in years." And I said, "Have you been to the doctor? I mean, what's going on?" And he died. He died. Yeah. But I told him he let a he was a hot box. He was in and out of everything. Okay. But that motherfucker was so fine. But yeah, but I told him, I said, "Man, I'm in a whole relationship with somebody I'm in love with, and he's in the military. We had a house together. We were doing great. So I mean, I wish I could have helped him, but what could I have done? He could have stayed in my house with me and my ex, and he would have died. He would have died right there in my house. Boy, I got so many stories to tell y'all. Okay, here's another story. Y'all are not going to believe this one. So I was dating this guy in Atlanta. And let me tell y'all something. Everything I tell y'all is I know what I'm doing. I know a lot of people are watching me. If I didn't want people to know, I wouldn't tell my story. So let's get that straight first. I can't believe I'm here telling all this business. I can delete this video if I want to, but I'm not. I mean, because it's my life. These things that happened to me in my life. I wish Oprah would pick up my story. Damn, I wish Oprah would. Baby, I got so much shit in my life that I ain't even share with people. Not even my mama. And baby, if you thought that Michael Jackson movie was good, no. My life would run circles around Michael Jackson's life. So I was dating a guy in Atlanta, and um, we used protection. And he told me when we met that he had a ex boyfriend. They're no longer together, and he was on hospice. And I'm saying, what's wrong? He never told me what was wrong with him, but I kind of figured what it was. But he told him before he got really sick, he said to go. Now this was in '09, y'all, 2009. He said just move on. His ex told him to move on with your life, go on with your life, and because I'm dying. And just so we started dating. You know how I met him? So I met him off an app, one of the gay apps. And he said he was going to school to be a masseuse. And I said, well, bitch, I need a massage. So he came over. So at the time I lived downtown Atlanta, and we have a little peephole that you can see. If you're in your apartment, it's a number that you turn your TV to a certain thing, and you could see who going in and out the building. So when he came, he said, "Well, I don't charge you." I said, "Well, you weren't gonna charge. You would charge me no way because I'm not paying for it." And so when he came over, he said, "I'll give you a massage free." I said, "Well, I would hope." But he was attractive, 7 feet tall. I like tall guys. He was 7 feet, very attractive, and he came over, and when I was looking at the hole, this bitch had, I'm sorry, this motherfucker had a whole table. He had the whole massage table. I said, hello, would you please put that back in the car? My neighbors don't need to be in my business, what I got going on up here. Well, they wouldn't know where I was going anyway. But anyway, that shit was so funny. He said, well, I thought you wanted a massage. I do. We don't need the table. So anyway, so he came up, gave me a massage. We started dating. We was in a long relationship. We was actually in a relationship. He kept telling me about his ex, and I'd go over to his house because he was always at my house, but we'd always go to his house to get clothes and stuff like that. We go back and forth. And I couldn't see his boyfriend in the hospice because he was sick, really sickly. And again, I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't know if he had cancer, AIDS. I don't know. He never told me. He never told me. Y'all are not gonna believe this story. Y'all gonna actually unfollow me when I tell y'all this story. So we was in a relationship and everything, and so how we broke up was I had a show in Charlotte, North Carolina. Put it like this: he cheated on me. Okay, because we always use condoms. So, but if you get into something and you think we breaking up. All right, so we broke up. We're still friends to this day. Sometimes he pops up on my live, and but after we broke up, he told me, he said, so and so died. His boyfriend died. I said, I always want to see what it looked like. Show me obituary. I knew the motherfucker. I knew his fucking boyfriend. He was from Virginia, y'all. I done lived all over the country. I knew his fucking boyfriend, knew his first and I say Anthony. I can't say his last name on here. Anthony? He said, you know Anthony. I said, yeah, we used to hang out and go to the club together. Small world. Yeah. I said, I know. He said, how did you know? We used to hang out in Virginia. I knew exactly. And then I called all my friends in Virginia and told them they couldn't believe it. I think he died from cancer. Yeah. Because Charlie, 2009, ain't nobody died from AIDS unless you ain't taking your medicine or you doing something crazy, doing drugs. Most people who die from AIDS, if you die from AIDS now, bitch, you ain't taking your medicine or your motherfucking ass doing some drugs or something crazy. If Magic Johnson old ass could still be around, bitch, you can be around too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's true story, y'all. I swear, I put that on my mama's life. And I could not believe that. Whew. Yep. But we broke up. The motherfucker cheated on me, so we broke up. Then I got it. Oh Lord, here's another story. Then I fell in love with another guy. He was a little younger than me, um, but maybe 2 years younger than me. And he was in love with this old man, honey. Oof. He was in love with PT. He knew I did drag. He knew all that. So we dated and everything. He moved in with me. We had a great relationship. And then I moved. I moved back to Texas. And I lost contact with him. His name was Travis. I wish I could show y'all a picture of us. It used to pop up on my phone. Like, I used to have, let me see if I got this picture. And I was in love with Travis. If I could show you the picture that let me see if I have it. Him and I took before I left Atlanta. You could tell, you could look at us and tell we were a happy couple. But I moved back home. And one day I've always wanted to find him. Let me see if I got this picture. I always want to find Travis. But here's the picture. I'll tell y'all. Remember, I told you I'd never been in a hospital except 2 years ago, my first time. In my 60s, and never spent the night in a hospital. Here's the pictures right here. They just came up right here. That was me when I was in the hospital. Oops, hold on. Yeah. There it is, February 2024, Houston, Texas. Yep. I had fucking food poisoning, child. A little bitty piece of meat. Food poisoning. Y'all better cook y'all meat, honey. Cook your meat, girl. If you don't, you're going to end up in the hospital like me. Also, make sure y'all check y'all. I'm gonna see if I'm trying to find a Travis picture. Make sure you also check your support, a little bit of piece of support. It wasn't cooked all the way through because I was moving back to Houston. Right, I hate to tell this story because I tell it all the time. I was moving back to Houston. I get my Marriott discounts, and the hotel that I stayed at is they have the ice boxes, the stove, refrigerators, and all that. And so I had did a show, and I was looking for a pan, and they didn't have a pan for me to cook my meat. So I put the meat inside the air fryer. She went to smoking, and I didn't want to cause no issues with the Marriott because I get my discounts through them. So I turned it off. I said, I just put it in the microwave. Do that, PT. Put it in the microwave, bitch. Bitch, I put that motherfucking meat in that microwave. I say, lay down. It's about 3 in the morning. Around about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I jumped up, left a trail behind me, left a trail in front of me, bumped my head against the wall. Ooh, it was bad. It was it was food poison at its best. And I've had food poison before, and I throw everything up, and I'd be okay. But this got worse. It got worse. It got worse. It got worse. And I didn't want to bother my best friend because I was moving into my apartment the next day, right? This happened Saturday into Sunday morning, and I was moving into my apartment that Monday. My apartment was ready and everything. And I didn't want to bother my best friend because he lived 30 miles outside of Houston. He's like, you need to let me come get you. I got insurance. I could have called an ambulance. I was like, no, I got some of my stuff in here. Most of my stuff was at his house. And I said, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. And I realized and really that my body was like breaking down. And so um, I I end up, yes. So I end up, hold on though. So I end up, okay, so that was Sunday morning, and luckily, it was weird. I guess it was just meant. Things just be meant, y'all. Things are meant. So when I upgraded, I'm a platinum member in Marriott, so they upgraded me. And when I got there, when I first got there, shout out to the West Park Town Place. Shout out to the West Park Town Place Suites and off of West Park in Houston. And when I got there, I said, "Can I upgrade to a two bedroom?" It was like, "Sure," because I'm only going to be here for that Saturday, Sunday, and that Monday. And I'm leaving. So luckily, because I got an upgrade, the first room I was in was so bad, and I was too embarrassed to let them come in and clean the room. It was so bad that I had to go to the other room. Thank God for that. And so when it was time for me that Sunday to go and pay for my room for that Sunday, because I only paid for that one day, they was like, well, I came. I was still sick, and I never knew that you can taste water. You can taste water, right? You can taste it, but I never knew that water have a taste and you can't taste it. So something's wrong. Like I can't taste water, and every time I put it in my mouth, everything come up. I still had bad, bottom stuff coming out. It was bad. So I said, I called my mom, called my best friend. They was like, you need to go to the hospital, boy. Da, 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 da. I said, no, I'm going to move in my damn apartment. I ain't going to no damn hospital. Bring me some Imodium AD. I'll be fine. No, ma'am. That virus said, no, girl, you're not. You going to the hospital. So when it was time for me to pay for the room for the next day, to extend the room till Monday, I went to the front desk and I was so out of it. Thank God I was under my Marriott discount because they probably would have called the police on me. They probably thought I was drunk or high on some drugs. They was like, "Are you okay, Mr. Johnson?" I said, "No, I'm sick. You need an ambulance?" "No, I'll be fine." I said, "I need to pay for my room. They're gonna come get me Monday." I opened my phone and I was so out of it. I couldn't open my phone. I couldn't remember my fucking password. She said, "Go back to the room and lay down." And she said, if you get worse, we're going to have to call the ambulance for you. I said, I'm going to be fine, ma'am. I just need to rest. I didn't want to go to the hospital in fucking Houston. I wanted to go out where my best friend lived at. He lived in Katy, Texas. I want to go to them hospitals. I don't want to go to motherfucking Houston. Shout out to Katy Memorial who healed my body. And so I went and laid down and I wrote down. I mean, that's how I guess I was losing stuff, my memory and stuff. And so I wrote down my password. I went back up there around by 7, paid for the room, went and lay back down, and I was still sick. That room was so bad, I had to go sleep in the living room. My friend was like, "Bitch, I'm coming to get you." I said, "No, just come tomorrow. I'll be fine." And I realized I was actually dying. I was actually dying. So the next day he came. Oh, before I went to sleep, I did call my mom's. I called my friends in Houston. Then I had on the side of my bed, I had phone numbers. I had my best friend in Houston for contact. And then I had my mom's number. Then I had my son's number in Houston. I'm sorry, my brother's number in Houston. And then the list went down because I didn't know if I was going to wake up. And I know y'all said, well, damn, PT, you should have went to the hospital. I didn't realize it was that bad. I just thought I had food poisoning. And so the next day he came and got me, and he took me to the emergency room. And as soon as I got there, I fainted. I completely fainted. When I woke up, bitch, this is what you saw right here when I woke up. Hold on. when I woke up, this is what you saw. Me laying in the hospital with the oxygen. I never had this in my nose before. Hold on, let me. That I'd never had this in my nose before. I've never, and this was just February, y'all, 2024. I've never had those things in my nose. That was the first time I ever had that in my nose. So anyway, I was in the hospital for a week. And shout out to the nurses and the doctors, baby, because let me tell you something. I couldn't understand why they keep coming to my room. Bitch, I can't sleep. But I had got y'all now. Y'all see, this was in February, so it was cold. So I was good. I was getting better. I didn't have COVID. They tested me for COVID. I didn't have COVID. It was something I forgot what they called that. It was bad diarrhea, but it was something else they called it that you get when you eat pork and it ain't cooked. And so I noticed I was getting better, but they would let me eat anything. That shit they was giving me was so fucking nasty. I'm like, I don't want this, and I couldn't taste my food. My food had no taste. I thought I had COVID, but I didn't have COVID. So I noticed I was getting better and everything, and I was happy. I was crying all the fucking time when I go live on my YouTube. Oh, y'all, I'm getting better. I'm going home because I've never been that sick before. Oh God. Ugh. I've never been that sick before. Ever in my life. At 60 something years old, I've never been that sick ever in my life. And I was getting used to it. I learned how to. Can you bring me some warm blankets? Can you bring me some socks? They would bring me socks. They was warm socks. And, oh my God, they treated me so good. And there's more to the story. So I was in there for a week. I got out on a Saturday. My best friend came to get me. He's like, bitch. And I noticed that when hold on, y'all, there's more to the story. I noticed that when he picked me up, by the way, of course, I cried when I left. The lady said, what's wrong? I said, man, you got to realize something. When I came in here, so many people didn't leave the hospital. I'm just grateful that I was able to walk out of here. She's like, I get it. I get it. I said, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for helping me. You know, y'all helped me get back to where I was. I was skinny, bitch. I had lost weight. I said, I need to get sick more often because I had lost weight and I was looking good, bitch. Okay. Uh, and so I thank God for the nurses and the doctors and even the housekeeping. Thank God for those nurses and doctors. My heart, I just have so much respect for doctors and lawyers, doctors and nurses and stuff now. You know what I mean? So, so, bitch, my friend picks me up, and this eye, I'm gonna show you. There's more to the story. My friend said, "Bitch, what's wrong with your eye?" I said, "I don't know. It's just y'all want to see the picture." He said, "Bitch, you got to go back to the hospital." I said, "Girl, something going on with my eye," and I didn't notice this until we left, until we were leaving. Hold on, right? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up. Here it is. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so hold on. So I didn't notice it. It was no lawyers, and so we went back to here's the picture. Go back to the hospital. The lady said, "You just left here. You back again?" I said, "She said you really like us." I said, "Yes." And she said, "Yeah, it's like a gas. Yeah, it was something like that. It was real bad. I gotta look at my paperwork. I still got my paperwork. They told me what it was. Acute something, some shit. I don't know." So the lady said, she said, you were just here. I said, yeah. She said, let me look in your eye. She opened my eye. She put some stuff in my eye. She came back. She said, you got shingles. I said, what? She said, if you hadn't came back, you probably would have lost this right eye. Oh, God. Oprah needs to hear my fucking story. Uh, so anyway, y'all need to contact Oprah and tell her she needs to hear my story. There's more to the story than this. It's just some things I would never tell online, but my life is so many things that happen to me in life. I wish I could tell everything, but I would rather get paid for telling it. Hello. So, hey, AW. So I had shingles in my right eye. Y'all saw the picture. It didn't hurt. It didn't bother me. Nothing. But they gave me some medication, and I was healed. Y'all, AW. For those who don't know, because he's not in here on the regular, he's been with me longer than any of y'all. He lives in Jersey. How you doing? Yeah, he's been with me longer than any of y'all watching me. Yeah, that's what I had, acute gastric. That's what it was. Yeah, are you a nurse? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I call y'all peachy punchers. Yeah, he's been with me a long time. He's been with me a long time. But that was just February 2024. February 2024. And I remember when I went back to Houston, and I stayed at the hotel again. I just cried so hard. I was like, this hotel is where it all went down right here. But anyway, do I have any other stories to tell y'all? I got so many. Don't forget, since I got y'all attention, y'all, I'm having my comedy show in Atlanta. Um, oh, my eye was messed up. Y'all gonna read me when I tell y'all this, but I'm telling everything. Let me just tell y'all this. I want y'all to look. I want y'all to look at this picture, okay? I'm not trying to gross you out, but I want y'all to look at this picture and tell me what y'all think. Hold on, hold on. Oh, so oh shit. Hold on, man. I can't believe. Oh, I do have another story. Hold on, I got another story. Oh my god, wait till y'all hear this. Okay, so I want y'all to look at this picture. Bitch, I was on Von Lane, bitch, on my way to the damn. I was on my way to the. I was on my way to the. This was the week. This is the week. This is. I got out of hospital at Saturday. This was that. This was that Thursday, I think, Wednesday or something. I was on my way to Austin to do the fucking radio station. The radio called me when I got to the hospital. They said, "PT, are you okay?" I go, yeah, I'm fine. They said, we want you to come do radio. Y'all know I love radio, bitch. So I said, bitch, I'm coming with shingles and everything. But my eye had cleared up before I got there. So I was on my way to Austin to do the radio. So I do have another story. This one's gonna wear you out. So um, but yeah, I got better. My eye was like that for like ooh, AW, you remember when I was in the hospital? Fool, you've been following me all this time. You saw that. But um what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Um, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, it lasted for like once I started taking that medication, yeah, you remember, yeah. Once I started taking that medication they gave me, it cleared up. Yeah, it cleared up. Yeah, it cleared up. Once they gave it was this eye right here. It started clearing up once they gave me the medication. Child. Oh, but let me tell y'all this before I give y'all this story. This is about a guy who he might have been 20, 19, 20. He wasn't 21, 21. He was about 18, 19. He was 18, 19, 20. He was between those ages. But let me tell you this first. For all of those who are watching, I want to remind you guys. Now, I just sit up here and told y'all my whole life story, okay? I am a comedian, and I do. Yes, he has. Yes, and there's some stories I ain't even told you, okay? There's some stories I ain't even shared with you. But we'll wait till Oprah calls. But I want to remind everybody that I am doing my birthday celebration in Atlanta, and the tickets are on sale right now. And I want everybody, if you can't come, buy a ticket. If you can't come, The cheapest ticket to get is only $30. Well, PTI can't make it, but I promise you, I'm gonna support the show. The tickets are selling. The tickets are selling. Let me show you how you can get one. Okay, what you do, you go to the front of my YouTube channel where it says PT View. You view this. You click on that, right? Then you're gonna look here where it says more. See where it says comedian PT at Yahoo, and it says more links. Okay, you're gonna click on more links. Boom. You're going to look down here. Please follow my Instagram. I'm trying to get more people on Instagram. You're going to go to Instagram, my Facebook, PT Comedy Show, July the 26th. You're going to click on it. Okay? You're going to click on that. Boom. There you have it. Well, and it takes you to me. Yeah. Okay? And then you're going to go down. If you ever want to know all the shit I've done, it's right here. Radio, TV, Maury Povich, Bill Cunningham, on Gary with the T's, my friend, did his podcast, all these different radio stations I've done, TV stuff. I was in Columbus, Georgia. I've done all this shit. I was with Lou Nell. I was with some more. I was with AJ Johnson from Friday at the Lakewood Theater in Dallas, and I did, me and Coco Brown worked together. I've done all this stuff, okay? But what I need you to do, if you can't make it, say, PT, I love your stories. You've been through a lot. I'm going to buy a ticket. So anyway, here's the location. It's the Hudson Grill. That's me at the Improv. That's me at the Improv right there. That church lady suit on. The cheapest ticket you can get is $30. Okay. But if you do come, it includes complimentary handcrafted cocktail and an exquisite buffet. Okay. So that's $30 for one, and of course 65 for two. You got to add the taxes. 152 for 46 for five. That's up and close and in front. Then six, the meet and greet table. These are meet and greet tables. Table for three. I had to add that because I forgot sometimes people may come in threes. That's only $92. Okay. So yes, that's the Hudson Grill in Midtown. If you can't come, just support me. We got to sell out. I got 200 seats, and I need to sell out of every one of them motherfuckers. Okay. Let me know if y'all ready for the next story. I'm so glad I don't drink. I drink, but I'm glad I don't drink at home because I'll be telling everything, crying and shit. I got to tell you. That's why I don't drink at home. Anyway, so when I lived in Houston, before I moved back home, there was a guy, he lived above me, him and his mom. He must have been about 19 or 20. He was of age. He was an older guy. He was of age, and I'm much older than him though. And he wasn't Jamaican. He was from some country. Nice looking young man, but he was too young for me. And oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Look, and I didn't even put up my cash app, and didn't even ask for no money. so anyway, I'm trying to sell tickets to my show. So anyway, anybody in Houston, I mean anybody in Atlanta. Oh look, I'll be in Atlanta next week. So if you live in Atlanta, you want to meet up and hang out, let me know. We can do that. PTO, are you still going to allow us to purchase a ticket to go get a link to see a show? Didn't I just show y'all how to get a ticket? Hold on a minute. Let me put the link in here. I could have swore I just showed y'all. Wait a minute. Did you just now coming in here, Josh? I just showed y'all the ticket. Okay, let me put the link in here. AW, can you go get that link and put it in here for me, please? I'll put the link in here. Give me a second. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't I just put the link in here, y'all? Okay, but I'll put it in here. Hold on. Yeah, but if you live in the Atlanta area, I'll be in Atlanta next week. It's not the birthday celebration, but if you live in Atlanta, you want we go hang out and chill or whatever, But I do need you got to have some type of social media, bitch. We're not gonna meet up if you ain't got no type of social media, nothing like that. Oh no, 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 no. There's some crazy folks in the world, but I would like to hang out with y'all. Have a drink, chill. As I said, drink and chill. Okay. Drink, chill. Hold on 1 second. Let me. As I said, drink and chill. Turn this down. Okay. All right. So here's the link right here to grab a ticket. And again, Out of all the shit I've been through in life, I think I'm worth $30 to come. If you can't see me, at least support the show. I need to sell out. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to put the link in here. There it is. Boom. There it goes. Right there. There's the link to grab your ticket. It's going to be a comedy show, and I'm actually doing stand up. And I have some special guests, but I can't say who they are. You're welcome. Are you coming or are you just buying the ticket? Thank you, AW. Are you coming or are you just buying the ticket? Let me pin it right quick. Okay, I just pinned it so you guys can get it. Thank you, AW. All right, y'all don't let me down. Now we got 94 people on here. Imagine if everybody buy a ticket. I need to sell out. I need to sell out. Now the person who asked for the link, are you coming or are you just buying a ticket? Who was the person that asked that? Okay. Oh, thank you, Josh. So why don't you come? It's okay. We're gonna have it's gonna be packed. We're gonna have it packed. Mm-hmm. I have an Atlanta hip hop, loving hip hop star that might be coming, and somebody else I can't say right now. I gotta stop. I can't put it out there yet until we can verify it. All right, let's talk. Let's do this. This is probably the last story. So there was a guy who lived above me, straight, I guess. I don't know. These days, you just don't know. And he smoked a lot of weed. Oh, I understand. Oh, by the way, listen. If you buy a ticket, you still will be able to see the show because what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to find. Okay, we're gonna try to find a way where you can see it live, but if you pay for a ticket, only the people who pay for a ticket can see it live. I know you can do that. I don't know how, but we're gonna look into that. If not, it's going to be recorded, and the same night when everything is over, not only are you going to see the show, but you're going to see the road trip that I'm taking, because we're leaving that Wednesday. The show is that Sunday, but by the way, the show is Sunday, y'all. In the day, it's a daytime event, and it's upstairs. We're leaving that Wednesday, so it's going to be a road trip. That's going to be a part of the package that you're going to get for the people who can't come, and you bought a ticket. So it'll be a road trip. You'll see me on the road, me and my son and my friends going to Atlanta. You check in the hotel. You get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. You get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. And the only way you're going to see this is if you buy a ticket. Yeah, buy a ticket. And I saw the proof that you bought a ticket. It'll be on YouTube, but the only people that can see it is the ones who have the link. There you go. So you will get to see, or you actually going to see more than the show. You're going to see, matter of fact, those people who buy a ticket before I go to Atlanta, I'm going to show you guys the venue because I got to do a video. That's why I'm going down there. I'm going down there to pick out what food we're going to have for the buffet, and I'm also going down there to do a video of the place. It's very nice. It's very grand. It's very upstairs, VIP, curtains, all that. It's very nice. We got our own patio. We got our own patio. We got our own bathrooms. Everything, own bartender, everything. So yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you know you're not just paying for a ticket. You're definitely gonna get everything. You're gonna get to see everything. And everybody said, well, why don't you come here? Why don't you come there? And I'm gonna tell y'all something right quick. Why don't you come here? Why don't you come there? Why don't you come here? Baby, I gotta see what's gonna happen in Atlanta. If I sell out of Atlanta, bitch, I can sell out anywhere. Hello? So let's get Atlanta out the way. Okay, so here we go. Let me tell y'all this quick story, but then I'm gonna tell you about the guy who lied on me to his mama. A grown-ass man, okay? So last night, I was on TikTok, the night before. This young guy, he came up to my live. He said, hey, you remember me? I'm like, He said, go look at my page. Go look at my page when you finish. I said, okay. 2 years ago, I was on TikTok, and I seen this little young guy, a little young black gay guy. Funny as fuck. He was so funny. I said, hey, dude, you need to do stand-up. Your ass is crazy. You ever thought about doing stand-up? He said, I'm in the military. I said, well, you should give it some thought. Give it some thought. Or you can do private streams. Okay, well, we'll look into that too. Yeah, I would rather do that than I would rather do that than uh, having people to wait, the next day or whatever to see it. So anyway, I went to look at his stuff. Mind you, I told him you're going to be a big comedian one day. You're really funny, but you just got to get out the door. Tell me why this motherfucker is touring right now. Touring, touring. I sent him a message. I said, dude, I said, you the dude that I told you to do. I did stand up more than once, baby. I've done it quite a few times. I said, you the dude that I told to go and do stuff. He said, yeah, PT, that's me. I've been looking for you. He said, you don't have your YouTube, your TikTok channel no more. I said, not the main one where I had like over 10,000. I said, no, I let that go a long time ago. He said, I said, you traveling like that? The motherfucker's on tour doing stand up, improvs, laugh factories. He said, PT, you discovered me. I got the text, but it's in this phone. PT, you discovered me, and so I'm gonna bring him on my show. Yeah, he's gonna come on my show. I'm gonna bring him on my show. Isn't that something? That's just that blew me away. And he's young. He's doing good. I don't want to share his information with y'all. I'm gonna wait till he comes on my show. Yeah, I'm gonna say, did I screenshot his? Yeah, he told me. He said, yeah, you're the reason why I'm doing stand up, PT. What? Let me see. I don't know what this is. No, I don't want to click on the wrong thing because I don't want. Ooh, hold on a minute, y'all. Ooh, Lord, I hope I don't. Hold on. I've been clicking and showed y'all the wrong shit. No, it's okay. Um, yeah, I was going to show y'all the screenshot. I was going to show you the screenshot where he said, "Yeah, you're the one you're the one who discovered me." He said it happened after I got out the military, but you're the one who told me to do it, and I did it. Yeah. So anyway, wait a minute. Is TikTok on this phone? I can show you the. Let's see. I don't know if TikTok is on this phone. If it is, I can show you the conversation him and I had. It does. Yeah, I can't wait to bring him on my show. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. Oh, I think it. No. Yeah. Here we go. I got him right here. Hold on. Here it goes. Right here. Here it is. Right here. Sorry, I had two shows in Chicago, but it happened after I was in the military when you discovered me. Yep, that's him right there. That's him. And I saw him on Facebook, but I wasn't for sure. I saw him on Facebook, but I didn't know that was the same guy that I told him he could be a comedian. That's him right there. Yep. I'm gonna bring him on my show. Well, I'm gonna bring him on my show. He told me I told him to let me know when you're ready, and I told him I want to be a guest. I'm so proud of him. I saw it in him. I saw it in that motherfucker. And baby, look, y'all see them goddamn tour dates? You see them tour dates? That motherfucker got he touring like he's doing it big. So anyway, all right. So let's do this last story, y'all, and then I gotta go. And I came on here because I said I was sick. Now I'm feeling better. The fuck? So anyway, yeah, I wasn't feeling good earlier, and but I'm a rest. I need to rest because I leave for Atlanta this week, and I just need to rest. But anyway, yeah, yeah, I can't wait to bring him on my show. Yeah, yeah, he working the circuit. He doing his thing, baby. So I saw it in him. I saw it in me. I said, "Boy, you funny. You crazy." And I told him about Amazing Grace. He said, "You remember when he came on my live? He said, you remember when you told me I remind you of your friend Amazing Grace that was a low down dirty shame?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, that's me." I said, "Oh," but I didn't know he had was doing that until I went and looked at his stuff, and I screamed. Oh, look. I have it right here where I screen. Oh, watch this. Listen. Hold on, watch this. Listen to the message I sent him. Listen. Minute here. Wait one fucking minute here. Now, when I told you that you remind me of Amazing Grace, were you that big? You wasn't that big back then, baby. You didn't blew up. I'm so. Oh my God! I saw you. Wait a minute. I saw you on Facebook, and I said, "Oh, this little guy is cutting up, selling out to these." Oh my God! Oh my God! We need to talk. We need. I told you. I said, I told you, motherfucker, you was funny. So anyway, hopefully I get him on my show. All right, y'all, last story. But don't let that deter you from getting a ticket. Come see me, okay? So the guy, yeah, look him up, and I'm gonna bring him on my show too. And make sure y'all say PT send us over here to watch your stuff. So the guy smoked weed, and I don't smoke weed, but I know he smoked. And me at my age, well, our trash bin was way around, and I didn't like walking some days, especially when it was cold. I was like, dude, here, $5, take my trash out, man. Because the motherfucker, I don't know if he worked or not. I don't know what he had going on. Hello, Phoenix. Are you coming to see me? I think we ought to talk. So I give him $5, and then he would start. He had my number. He was texting me, man. I'll be trying to smoke, man. I said, dude, I'm not supporting your habit. I said, if I need my trash taken out, I'll give you $5. You can take the trash out. I don't even know if he had a job. I don't know. And so we became really cool and everything. So I let him take my trash out, and I gave him money to do little things and stuff like that. And so anyway, I noticed he started sending me not nasty videos, but he was sending me videos, I guess, to try to entice me. I have a video right here. Hold on. I said, dude, why are you sending me videos, man? I need some money, dude. First of all, don't be sending me no fucking videos, okay? I don't want to see no videos. I don't have no money. So he liked to smoke. He loved to smoke. Motherfucker must have had no goddamn job or whatever the case may be. So anyway, let me show you. Let me see. Right? Yep. So hold on. So he sent me, this is what he would send me. Let me show you. This is what he would send me. Okay, so he was sending me videos of him smoking. Sorry, I lost y'all. Sorry about that. I lost y'all. And man, I need something to smoke, man. Look, dude, can y'all hit the like button for me, please? If y'all get me up to 100 likes, I appreciate that. I didn't even ask for a cash app. So anyway, so I was like, dude, why are you sending me this? Trying to entice me because I'm an older guy. He's probably like 20. I think he's 20, 21. Trying to entice me and shit. Like, dude, that shit don't excite me. I said, I don't have no money, dude, for your little weed habit, whatever. I said, are you gay, dude? He's like, no, I'm not gay. He's from some island, some country, African country. He said, no, I'm not gay. But you like me? I said, no, I don't like you. I was telling you, I'll give your po ass $5 to take my goddamn trash out because I didn't feel like walking out to the trash place. You know, and you can take trash out fucking once or twice a week. So, and then sometimes he would help me with my groceries and shit like that. I knew his mom. His mom was nice, everything. So I moved away. I moved away, and then I moved back, and then I went back to the apartments where I live. Those apartments right there. I'm walking through the courtyard because I was trying to pick out which apartment I wanted. Oh, bitch, I got another story. Y'all, I'm trying to quit, y'all, but I forgot that those apartments took me to another story. So if y'all want to hear the next story, I'll tell you. If not, I'll be done. So when I get back, so I'm walking through the courtyard trying to, you know, see which apartment I want to live. I really knew where I wanted to live, but I wasn't for sure. Here, here comes his mother. He's a grown ass man now. You know what I'm saying? He's grown. Anytime you're over 18, you grown. Excuse me. Yes. You the guy who used to live downstairs. I said, yes, ma'am. How you doing? She said, I'm fine. I'm fine. My son said you wanted to be with him. Huh? My son said you tried to entice him and do things with him. Y'all, how about I get a picture from somebody if did I make somebody send me a picture? So I said, ma'am, your son is lying. Get out of my face. Your son is lying. Get out of my face. And I left. Moved into the apartment complex. I was looking for that motherfucker because I live under them, but I didn't see. But when I moved in, I was looking for him. I was looking for that motherfucker. I couldn't. I looked, searched everywhere. I knew where they lived, but I don't want to go over to by his house because ran into him. He got a child now. He got a baby. I said, hey, dude. I said, let me tell you something. You better clear that shit up. You know, motherfucking well, I wasn't trying to fuck you. I wasn't fucking doing anything with you. Number one, you're too young, and you say you straight. I said, tell your mama you lied on me, motherfucker, or do I need to show her this motherfucking video? Ha! Baby! Oh, no, don't show my mama that. Don't show my mama that. I said, well, motherfucker, your motherfucking ass lied on me. You lied on me. Bitch, you sent me a video trying to entice me to give you money to smoke. That was like 3 years ago. I moved back like 2 or 3 years after that. So he was like 19 then. So now he was like 19, 20. He's like 21, 22 now. He's really young. I said, you need to clear it up, motherfucker. I went in the office and told the people in the office what he did. They say, what? They said, yeah, that's him. That's him smoking on the patio. How would I get a fucking video of somebody smoking on the patio unless they send it to me? Hello? So he didn't think I was gonna come back. That's the tea. He didn't think I was gonna come back. The next time I was in his mom, he said, oh, I'm so sorry. My son lied on you. Mm-hmm. Boy, I said, well, and I said, look, dude, I still got the video of you that you sent me smoking on the patio. No, your mama's and your dad is Tracy Morgan. Yeah, get your ass out of here. We having a good time. Don't bring your ass in here no more. So yeah, I'm glad I had that video. I'm glad I had that video, baby. Thank you for the receipts, Lord. Okay. Last story, y'all, and I gotta go. I'm gonna give me some watermelon, okay? Niggas. Yeah. Well, he was over 18. I don't talk to young men over that's under 18. I don't do that's not my field, baby. And I don't take nobody that's 18, 19, 20, or 21, 22, 23. Oh, I got two more stories, y'all. I got to fucking go. Ooh. Ooh, okay, let me tell this one first. And then we'll tell the other one. Because the other one is a little longer. The other one is about murder. Baby, when I lived in Houston, if you go back and look at my videos, I used to do the word on the streets. I go and interview people about celebrities and stuff like that. That's what I wanted to do when I moved to Atlanta. I was going to go start doing that. So I was at a Dollar General or Dollar Tree, some shit one night. I guess I am now after I'm telling all y'all my damn stories. Yep, keep the receipts. Yes. So, and I had more than one video he sent me trying to entice me to give him money. So anyway, and his mother, she apologized to me and everything. But anyway, when I showed him the video, he's like, oh, don't show that to my mama. Don't show that to my mama. Yeah. So anyway, what was I gonna say? And the bitch was coming for me like she was gonna check me. Girl, you better get out my face. So I was at a Dollar Tree, Dollar something General, I don't know, by my house. And I saw this young guy, cute. He might have been in his 30s. Cute, 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 cute. I said, hey man, how you doing? I said, I do celebrity tea. I would like to interview if it's okay. He said, sure, 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 sure. As a matter of fact, the video's on my YouTube channel, but you got to search for it. And I asked him questions about whatever the tea was that was going on. He said, yeah, yeah, I feel like this and I feel like that and this and that. And that was it. That was it. So I'm on the gay apps and stuff. Yeah, hold on. We're going to talk about the murder. I'm on the gay apps and stuff. Yeah, I'm on there, because a lot of times when I get on the gay apps, if I go out of town, I promote, my shows and stuff like that. But I don't make it a habit of meeting guys offline because it's too dangerous and it's just, people getting murdered and stuff like that. So I stay away from that. So I'm just about 3 or 4 in the morning, like now. I'm on the internet. And then my I'm doing good. And this handsome guy pops up and he goes, hey man, what's happening? I go, Nothing, what's going on? Cute. He's like, man, I'm trying to get some, some HE, I said, dude, I don't know you. He said, dude, yeah, you know me. I said, no, I don't know you. And I said, but if I do know you, you're not getting no HEAD at no 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't know. You didn't come to my motherfucking house. He said, dude, you don't remember me? Dude, I don't remember you. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Now you cute and everything, but you're not coming to my house at no 3 or 4 in the morning. Man, I'm horny. I'm horny. I'm horny. He said, man, you remember you interviewed me at the dollar store. What? He said, y'all go look at my videos. You see the little black guy I was interviewing? That's him. I said, you gay? Yeah, man, I'm gay. I said, dude, I would have never known he messed around. He was so masculine. He was, no, very dressed nice. He was in a nice little car and everything. I said, why didn't you tell me when you? I said, oh, no need to tell you. I know I'll probably see you online. You kind of sexy. I like older guys. You ain't coming to my house at no 3 or 4 in the morning. Yep. True story. I swear on my mama's life. I don't play about my mama, bitch. He said, man, I'm so fucking horny. You know who I am. You know me. You interviewed me. I'm not trying to do nothing to you, but dude, you're not coming to my house. You probably coming at 8 in the morning. No, anyway. Anyway, so he was really cute. And I turned him down. And he was mad. He never spoke to me again. Bitch, I seen him coming out of it was Walgreens in Houston. And I said, hey man, how you doing? That motherfucker walked right past me. He said, how dare this old motherfucker turn this cute, young, sexy man down? Well, bitch, you not coming to my house at no fucking 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You crazy? Yeah. He would not, he threw me shade, baby. He threw me shade. Oh my God, my head is hurting. True story. And he was a handsome young man. He was handsome. I don't trust people. Houston can be bad, baby. You don't invite nobody to your house at no 3 or 4 in the morning. You don't invite them at all because people are crazy. Oh Lord, I got two more stories. I got to this last one. This is about murder. So in those apartments there that I lived in, I don't know. When I moved in there, I was going to the courtyard and just 7 footer. I like him 7 feet, baby. I like him seven. He's 7 footer. He was smoking a cigarette or something. He was like, man, where you going? I'm like, excuse me? Man, bring me a black bag. I said, you got some money? No, man, I got you. I got you. So I said, well, I don't know if he gay, bisexual, if he's trying to rob me. I don't know what he got going on. But he was a handsome little thing. 7 feet tall. He was 25, 24, 25. And just handsome. And I'll go to the store, get him a black, bring it back. Man, where you live at, man? I said, I live in whatever apartment I was in, 16 something. He said, oh, I live around the corner, dude. He said, you live by yourself? Yes. I said, all right, man. You be careful, man. Let me know if you need anything. Huh? So I said, I don't know if he's gay or he's trying to work me for coins or what. I don't know. Because a lot of straight guys, they think you can get money out of it because you're gay, whatever. So the next day I hear I go to the door, look, it's him. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, no, man. I just came by to see what you got going. Man, you mind if I wash? Yeah, come on, you can wash. He was cool. He lived in my complex. I knew I let him wash. He had a job. He worked. He did security, and he had a car. He had a Cadillac. I said, man, let's go out to eat. I got you. Let's go out to eat. I want to know about you. I don't know what you got. And what you mean? What you mean? So he drove. We went out to eat. We went to Outbacks, and he told me we talked and everything, and he said I'm not gay. He said my best friend was gay, and I like gay people. Are you cool with me? I said, oh, that's what it is. He said, yeah. And we talked about his life, his relationships. He had a baby, he had a girl, he had girlfriends. And he said his problem, y'all listen to what I'm saying. Cover your ears, young folks that's listening to me. You ain't supposed to be listening no way. His problem was with his girls that he was too, what's the word? They couldn't take him. No, he didn't mess around with me. He was straight. They couldn't take him. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't want to say the wrong thing on here. I don't want YouTube to kick me off here. He was blessed, basically. 7 feet tall. He was blessed. He was 23, 24, one of those. He was 23, 24. Man, these girls fighting over me and stuff. And good morning. Uh, yeah, these girls be fighting over me, man. And yeah, big boy, they fighting over me and da 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 da. And I'm these bitches. Da da da. I said, don't call them bitches, okay? They ain't bitches when you lay up with them. He said one girl called the police on him because he was trying to do it from the back and went the wrong way, and she thought he was telling me all his stories. When he got to drinking, he was telling me everything. He loved to smoke his weed and drink. And we became really close. He was like my little big brother. He really was. And he lost his job. He lost his car. And he went downhill. And he was young, y'all. He wasn't even 25. And I used to tell him, I said, dude, don't give up. I said, you can make it. I say, you still got, see, you can't be a security guard, y'all, if you have a criminal record. Because I used to do security. You got to be licensed to be a licensed security or just do security. You can't have nothing after 9/11. You can't have nothing on your background. So I said, dude, okay, you don't have a car. Okay, you don't have an apartment. I say, you don't have to lose your apartment. You can tell security guards are some of the best jobs you can ever get because all you got to tell them is, okay, I can work 3 to 11 or I can work 2 to 10, but I can't work these hours because I'm on the bus. I said, it don't take you long to get another car, man. You can get another car. So he he just went downhill. He went way downhill. He was sleeping with his cousins. So I lived upstairs. Remember I told you I lived upstairs? I lived upstairs and then I moved downstairs and I moved into, hey Greg. Greg knows the story. Greg and AW been with me longer than anybody on here. But Greg has heard the story before. So when I moved downstairs, I moved into his aunt's apartment and she moved away and I moved into his aunt's apartment. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I moved into his aunt's apartment. So him and I became really close then. I would still help him. I would wash his clothes. Sometimes he'd spend the nights with me. And I would always try to encourage him and tell him, I said, dude, I'm going to tell you something. I say, if you well endowed like that, have you ever tried, what they call it? What's that site where you can go on and make money? No, I don't want to do that stuff, man. I said, dude's going to be looking at me. Dude, put a mask on and do it. You need to make some money, dude. And he wasn't 12, okay? He was, but what's the number after 12? Okay. And how did I know? He told me. Yeah, OnlyFans, yeah. No, they didn't hide that. Why did they hide that? They hid your message. And so he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it, yeah. And so he got worse. And he some days I would see him, and his family moved out. And one day I saw him. He was in the laundry room. I said, "Dude, come up to the apartment, man. Come up to my apartment. What's going on with you?" He wasn't on drugs. He just fell on hard times. And the women was y'all not even 25, and he well endowed like that. And the motherfucker was 7 feet tall. You know, the girls was blowing up his phone. And he said this is what depressed him. He said, when I was doing good, man, the women was all around me. Now that I don't have shit, they treat me like shit. And he was still young, he was just young. And I said, dude, don't give up, man. I said, keep pushing. Anytime you need to come over here and wash your clothes, whatever, you need bus fare, whatever, I got you. He didn't sell weed or nothing like that. Never seen him with a gun. Never, he wasn't hood, none of that. He was just a nice guy. He told me he had a daughter and everything. So he moved away. I never saw him again for a long time. Every once in a while he'd pop up, and he was just talking about how the women was treating him and shit. And I said, you get it together. It'll be all right. So one night I was on the internet, and bitch, I looked up, and this motherfucker didn't kill somebody. You remember this, Greg? Greg, remember it? He didn't unalive this girl. Unalived one of his girlfriends. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell made this boy snap? When I was around him, I never seen a gun. I never seen any. I don't know what made him snap. So I was on the internet just like one night I was on Facebook, and people who said, oh, he was a monster. He killed this girl. Yeah, he was wrong for killing her. But I needed to know what happened. And I said, hey guys, I'm not taking up for him, but I knew the guy. He was nice because him had to tell me what happened. I need to know what happened. Why did he snap? What fucking happened? And and so finally somebody said, how do you know him? Some girl. I said, well, first of all, you need to inbox me. And so she inboxed me, and I said, well, first of all, he's not gay. I'm gay, but he was like my little big brother. I lived in the complex where his aunt lived, and we became friends. And she was like, well, I'm gonna talk to you off, and I'm gonna call you, whatever. So she called me on the phone. We talked, and he actually went upstairs, kicked the door in, and shot. And there were kids in the apartment. She said, well, okay, y'all remember I told you the women were fighting over him. 27 years old, fighting over him, you know, and 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 one of the sisters, this is what the baby mama told me. He didn't do nothing to the baby mama. It was one of the girlfriends. And the woman that he had the baby by, she with him, they were cool. They had moved on with their lives. But so he was messing around with two of the sisters. And one of the sisters, this is what she told me. They always did things to antagonize him. And you got to remember, he may be 7 feet tall, but he was still young in the mind. He wasn't even 25. Uh, all that it can make you crazy. Yeah. But he was always nice around me. He was always nice around me. So never had a gun. I never was afraid around him or anything like that. So he, she said that he was sleeping with two of the sisters. And one of the sisters said, I'm going to tell your other sister about me and you. This is what the baby mama told me. And he said, he told her, you better not tell her I'll beat your ass. Da, 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 da. She said, you ain't gonna touch me. I'll unalive your daughter. And the daughter was over there. That motherfucker snapped. He went over there, kicked that motherfucking door in, went up there and shot her. Took her out. I'm gonna show y'all his picture. I ain't gonna show you his name, but I'm gonna show you his picture. Yep. I cried. I cried for her too, but I cried for him because he was doing so good when I met him. He had an apartment, he had a job, he had a car. Life was going good for him. And just that moment changed his whole life around. They gave him capital murder. He's still in prison now, but they reduced the capital murder down to something else. But he's in prison now. Yeah, sweetest, had the heart of gold. But you don't. Let me tell you something. You don't play with a YN's young baby. They will snap on you. And that was his only child too. And then I think she said something about he found out she had been whooping the child. You don't play with a black man's baby. You do not play with a black man's child. Whatever you just said, it didn't go through. It said, okay, it sucks to see a woman destroy some nice man like that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I said it. I saw it. Yeah, and because he was a good guy. I was never threatened around. Never felt threatened around him. I never, I'm gonna show y'all his picture. I never felt threatened around him. I never was scared around him or anything like that. He was a really nice guy, but he fell off. Pull up his picture. Yeah, that was just sad. Yeah, and people ask me, do you write him? No, I haven't. And I really should write him. I really should write him. Yeah. He was like my little big brother. He still is, but I know he probably mad at me because I ain't wrote him, child. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I have to mute this so I can say his name. Give me a second. Oh, hold on 1 second. I could type it in. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all hear me? I could type his name in. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? And this will be the last story, and I'm out. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Okay. Let me find him. Let me find where it happened at. Hold on. Here it is. I found it, but I don't want to share his name with you guys, okay? But I'm going to show you his picture. Here it is. Okay, his picture's not in here. Oh no, there goes his name. Let me cover up his name. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna cover up his name. Give me a second. Let me find something, and I'll actually let y'all hear what happened. This happened in 2020, y'all. This is 2020. Let me see. I was in Houston in 2020. Yeah, I'm trying to cover up his name. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. I got his name covered up. Okay, here we go.
When I look at this picture, I feel failure. I'm failing my wife, my children, and I'm gonna die soon. I'm trying
You say what,
I
AW?
tried fasting. I would lose weight and then gain everything back.
Yeah, you don't believe in nobody kids, baby. He snapped. He went
The
off.
first month, I lost 30 pounds. This works.
And that was his only child too. Unfortunately, now his child don't have a daddy.
A better husband, a better father. This is the best decision of my entire life.
Get Zepbound, Wegovy, and the new Wegovy pill at the lowest cost.
I never
with or without
I never
insurance
felt
at
threatened around him
joinlifemd.com.
ever.
just a tragedy here at this apartment complex. Right now, police don't have a suspect, but they do say they want to talk to the ex-boyfriend of the woman who was shot and killed. You can see police out here, crime scene tape around where this shooting happened at this apartment complex, where that woman was shot and killed, and her 4-year-old was also injured.
I heard a 3-shot burst, pop, pop, pop. And I thought maybe, well, somebody was shooting a firecracker. Then I heard it again.
You just heard from a witness who didn't want to show his face. He says he recognized the person who did this and knows the family. The shooting happened just before 4:30 this morning. Police say whoever did this busted down the front door to get in and then went up to a second floor where they busted down a locked door where that woman was. That's when they say the woman was shot multiple times. Her 4-year-old daughter, who was also in the room, was injured from shrapnel from the shooting. 4 other children were home at the time. A 10-year-old child called for help after the shooting happened. Police and neighbors both telling ABC 13 there's been a history of domestic violence here.
I was just praying that she was okay, you know.
And see,
Hopefully
this is
nothing
what I
bad.
don't understand because they said there was the history of domestic violence, but remember I told y'all that he said that he was always having issues with these women and stuff, and when he lost everything, they was making him feel like he was less of a man. So they probably got into arguments and stuff and fights and stuff like that because he was a man. He was, he's a man and he had shit going for himself. And when he lost everything, you know, 25 years old. He was 20 something years old. Yep, that was my little big brother. Rest in peace to the young lady. But, he took her out, baby. Took that girl out. It's really sad. You don't never know where your life is going to be the next day. You follow me? You don't know where your life going to be the next week, the next day, or anything like that. You just don't know. So I might need to try to reach out and see if I can find him. I found him on the internet. I think he's somewhere here in Texas. But yeah. Anyway, guys. So again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get these tickets sold. Nobody's behind me, but my finger's getting ready to block you. Let's get these tickets sold, guys. If y'all can, I done gave y'all some true stories tonight, and I need y'all to help me sell out. AW, you and Greg watch the live till I get back. I gotta use the restroom and block anybody if they say something crazy. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think if Miss Oprah ever heard my life story one day, she'd write a book on me or do it. I want a movie done on my life. Because I'm telling you, that ain't even half the shit I told y'all about my life. That, you know what I mean? That's not even half the shit that I've been through in my life. But I was glad I was able to share it with y'all. I'm finna enjoy my watermelon, okay? And I'm gonna go get back in the bed, relax. Tomorrow I'm gonna get up, start preparing for my Houston trip. I'm sure he would love to hear from me. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up. Yeah, I almost had 100 likes. I guess nobody liked my stories. Some people forget to hit the like button because sometimes I forget. Yeah. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. AW, I've been telling Greg to call me for the last 2 weeks. He still ain't called. He'll come on my live and be in the chat, but he won't call my number. Ain't that something? If I block Greg, he won't have the choice but to call me. You're welcome. All right, so now that you guys have heard my stories and know you're now some of the things that I've been through, show me some love. If you can't come to the show, buy a ticket, okay? Good night, everybody. Thank you, moderators. Have a good night. See y'all soon. My email address is, I know, Greg, there's something going on. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. But one day I'll find out. Okay. So I'm out of here. Y'all be good. If you did enjoy my show tonight, yeah, I know. My Cash App is PT Shows. Yes, PT Shows. And we'll listen for Sam's number. Wait, let me see if, oh, so you're going to call me on Sam's number? Okay. That's fine. All right, guys. I'm going to finish my watermelon. Y'all be good. Night. Ooh, damn, this is sweet. Bye-bye.